I'll talk about my interpretation of the song, and then I'll read some other people's interpretations and song meanings, and then I'm gonna read some lore and history of Valhalla and Odin and Thor, as well as the raid of Lindisfarne, which I think is an interesting piece of history. Raiding, pillaging, all very interesting things. I don't know why I'm like obsessed with raiding. The idea of raids. Like Vikings raiding land. I played a game called Kingdom Come where there's human warriors. It's just so the thought of a raid is very cool and manly, very manly. So anyway, let's get into it. So the song starts. Here we go. We come from the land of the ice and snow, from the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. The hammer of the gods will drive our ships to new lands, to fight the horde and sing and cry, Valhalla, I am coming. On we sweep with threshing oar. Our only goal will be the western shore. We come from the land of the ice and snow, from the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. How soft your fields so green can whisper tales of gore. Whispered tales of gore. Interesting. Of how we calmed the tides of war. We are your overlords. On we sweep with threshing oar. Our only goal will be the western shore. So now you'd better stop and rebuild all your ruins. For peace and trust can win the day, despite all of your losing. Ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah. So that was the lyrics to the song. Now I'm going to go over what I think of some of the lyrics and what I think they mean. And then we'll get into what other people think they mean. So, we come from the land of ice and snow. Now I think obviously you know that means Nordic areas. I don't know. Sweden, Norway, Iceland. I don't know. Just that part of the world. From the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. Just describing the land. So that, obviously talking about the Vikings towards Britain, Europe, the Americas, their longboats taking their longboats across the sea, across the sea, across the sea, to fight the horde, fight the horde, sing and cry, so fight the horde, fight the British, fight the British, pillage British villages. Yeah, yeah. Sing and cry. Now, I think that's like, there you go, next one. Sing and cry, Valhalla, I am coming. From what I know about Valhalla, it's supposed to be a never-ending dance. I don't know, dancing, war, pillaging villages, drinking mead, drinking strong mead, drinking very strong mead with the boys before we go on a pillage, and then we wake up the next morning and do it all over again. Then on we sweep with threshing oar, obviously talking about the longboats. The longboats. Our only goal will be the western shore. Now, Britain is west of Sweden and England, so that's what it's talking about. But it also could be meaning America, the Americas, because some Vikings did actually land in America. They were among the first, I think the first from the European continent to land in America. Very interesting. And then it repeats, coming from the land of the ice and snow. How soft your fields so green. I have no idea what that's about. Maybe, because he says your fields, they're not talking about Sweden's fields. Maybe they're talking about Sweden's fields, I don't know. Or maybe they're talking about the British fields. Maybe he's talking about the British fields. I don't know. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Do you know? I'm sure you know. Because you're smart. You are smart. Can whisper tales of gore. Well, that's obviously talking about the tales of the pilgrimages. The pillaging of villages, the burning of villages. The R word and pillaging of villages. That's what that's talking about. A burning village. Burning village. Like Lindisfarne. That's the Raid of Lindisfarne. Tales of gore. That's a tale of gore. Of how we calm the tides of war. Now see that's interesting. Because, well, Vikings, they weren't really calming any tides of war now, were they? They were the tides of war. So what's going on? What's with that lyric? We are your overlords. Well, your war overlords, we conquered you. So now you'd better stop and rebuild all your ruins. So yeah, we pillaged your village. We burned your wooden houses. Your wooden houses are burned to the ground. We burned your wooden houses to the ground. And we stole your money. Your money is my money now. Your money is my money. So now you gotta rebuild your ruins. For peace and trust can win the day despite all your losing. So basically, I think that's saying like submit to me. Submit to me. For peace and trust. I mean, that's a positive message anyway. For peace and trust can win the day despite all your losing. Because he said, if it was just for peace and trust can win the day, that I would say that's positive. But then he says, despite all your losing. So we just pillaged your village. And your only alternative for survival now is peace and trust with me. Because we just whooped you. You got whooped. You got whooped. Yeah, you got whooped. We whooped you. We pillaged your village. We took your gold coins. We took your food, your wheat. And now your only choice is to have peace. Peace with me. And that's the end of the song. So now let's move on over to some other people's interpretations. So, I'm gonna look a little bit more to the left now. For this, a little bit more to the left. Left. Alright, so let's read someone's interpretation. This song is about the Viking invasion of Britain in the AD 800s. It was at this time when Christianity was just about to become the dominant religion of all the kingdoms on the island, and then disaster struck. The so-called Danes from Norway actually invaded from the northeast coast and subdued region after region, reintroducing the pagan ways of old. Thor, Odin, the one-eyed god. Villages were torched. Throwing a torch. Throw a torch. Throw a torch. Churches and libraries demolished as kingdom after kingdom collapsed. Civilization in Britain was threatened. The Viking rulers forced the people to pay a tribute tax, the Danegeld, making them the overlords. So that's the overlord, because you're paying my taxes. You pay my taxes. You pay my tax. You pay my tax, because you're on my land now. The lone holdout was the southwest kingdom of Wessex, West Saxons, led by Alfred the Great. They were the only people stopping the Vikings from reaching the western shore. Very interesting, the western shore. West Saxons. I wouldn't have thought of that. I didn't know that. I know more about American history than I do about British history. But I'm sure you know a lot about history. Because you're very intelligent. Smart. You're smart cookie. They were the only people stopping the Viking. because there's only probably like 4% less than that. Maybe even like not even that. Maybe a 0.4% of the world even believes in Odin anymore, and Thor and Valhalla. It's all heaven and God and Jesus. So yeah, the British in the end won, despite the Nordic tribes trying to conquer the Western values. Value. Let's read another. Sounds that way first, but why ruins would there be rebuilt in America? I'm trying to read this one, but it's not making any sense to me. For peace and trust can win the day, despite all of your losing, could be an allusion to England's Norman invasion in 1066. Since that invasion was pretty much the last great invasion of the British Isles, and paved the way for England's power in the future. By the way, Valhalla is the Hall of Heroes, where in Norse mythology, Odin kept the souls of those great fighters that died in battle. I didn't know that. So Odin keeps your soul in Valhalla. I thought Valhalla was just like an epic place where fighting is happening all the time. Kind of like heaven. Because, I mean, in heaven, God's not... I don't know, is God keeping your soul? You answer that. Is God keeping your soul in heaven? Because Odin's keeping your soul in Valhalla. I didn't know that. I kind of thought of it as this just separate land. A separate land. Not like, almost like a prison. Like your soul is being held inside of it and can't leave. Because that's where you've ended up. But maybe you could leave it. I don't know. Have an army of great fighters with him in the final battle for the end. So it's preparing you for the final. Oh, what was the name of that? What was the name? You tell me in the comments. What was the name of the final battle? It's not the rapture. That's Christianity. It was... Oh my gosh. What was the name of the final Norse battle? You tell me in the comments. Please tell me. Yeah, sounds more like the invasion of Britain. That's what I was saying. To the fight to horde. Alright, let's move on to another. This guy says it's slightly confused, but it's essentially about the Viking invasion of Britain from the point of view of the invaders. That's what I like the song. Why I like the song. It's about the invaders. We're going there. We're conquering the land of ice and snow. Iceland, however, although it was settled by Vikings, it was not the main source of invaders to England, who primarily came from Denmark, the Danes. The hammer of the god, Thor's hammer. Thor was a popular deity among invaders of Britain, not only the Vikings but also previous Anglo-Saxon invaders prior to Christianization. To fight the horde is a bit confused. The Vikings were the horde. See, yeah, that's what I was saying. That sounded like the defense. They were either attacking defenseless citizens, civilians, or else well-organized armies. Yeah, that is a bit of a confused statement because they were the horde, but it's singing from the Vikings' perspective. Valhalla, I'm coming. Pagan Vikings believed that they same as Christian hell. If they don't, I'll have to look up what the Viking hell, H-E-L, not the Christian hell, H-E-double-L, H-E-L, hell, not hell, like Christianity. Very different. So now you better stop and rebuild your ruins. The Vikings settled in east and north of England in the Danelaw. However, in order to do so, they first abandoned their pagan beliefs and they became Christians. So in the end, Christianity won the day. Alright. Now let's move to the raid of Lindisfarne. Actually, let's see how long this is. The raid was in 3 ships. 3 ships that landed. Oh, I should have pre-read this beforehand. This is very long, but just understand, it was a monastery, and the Vikings landed their ship off the coast. And then they got out with their axes, and they slaughtered all the monks on the monastery. Most of the monks, actually, don't know how many survived. And then the tales say there were flashes of lightning and fiery dragons flying in the air. Probably didn't happen. But that's the lore. And they took all the gold of the monastery and they destroyed it and killed everybody on there. So now let's see this. Welcome to Valhalla, the Norse afterlife explained. If you're up to date on the world of video games, you binge everything. You are familiar with the Norse concept of Valhalla, the Viking heaven. Valhalla is so much more than simply a Viking hell. Valhalla is the hall of the slain. Yes, that's where the warriors go. But it's not an eternal kind of deal. I get that. Because they're preparing for the final great battle. The great battle. That's the drums leading to the great battle. So, yeah, you get killed in battle, you go to Valhalla. The people who reside in Valhalla are known as the Einherjar. Einherjar. You'll have to help me pronounce that. I know you're good at pronunciations, because you're smart. You're a smart cookie. You are very intelligent. Even though they may be dead and passed on from the living realm, that's not the end of their days. Instead of sitting around on clouds playing lute, like Christians, actually have important work to do. They have to prepare for the event. Ragnarok, that's what it is. I'm sure you already commented it below. Ragnarok, that's the final battle. Thor, Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Yep, that's gonna be the end of days. How do you get to Valhalla? Die a glorious death. You can't simply fall on your own sword during battle or hang around waiting for someone to do you. Instead, you must bring glory to battle your own way. Grizzly, so you gotta go fight. Go fight. You will Some of the people believe that after the battle, they pick the ones they want to go to Valhalla. Others, however, think it's much more twisted than that. Wow. Just wow. I want to go to Valhalla. Endless battle. In fact, most people believe that far from the simple picking of the dead, the Valkyries actively choose those who would die in the battle and seal. So the Valkyries, they choose. Yeah, so if you're a great, so what? This is so confusing. So confusing. So they choose, so they can seal your fate and make you die in the battle without. So you may be the greatest warrior, unbeatable, but the Valkyries will choose you to die. They will choose you to die. To go into the Great Hall. The Great Hall. So they chose you because you're the greatest warrior. You are the greatest warrior. I am the Valkyrie, and I have chosen you to come to the Hall of the Slain. You may be the greatest warrior, but I will make you die in this battle, so that you could come join your brothers in the Hall of the Slain to prepare for Ragnarok. Fascinating. Just fascinating. As you can imagine, life is tough life, preparing to fight the final battle in the end. With all those warrior souls around you, you can guarantee there's a lot of fighting. Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of fighting in Valhalla. Duh. And endless fighting. This gives the warriors training to defeat Jotnar. I'll have to look him up. If you tell me who's Jotnar. Jotnar. So that's the pagan enemy. All this fighting is still likely to hurt, even if you're undead forces of Valhalla. All your wounds are healed. All your wounds are healed so you can get cut up the next day. That sounds terrible. But you'll be fresh when you're reborn next day. They must get hungry, then you're right. They get utterly ravenous, and thankfully it doesn't take a herd of wild animals to keep them fed. Instead, a huge boar named Saramir, I don't know. Saramir is big enough to feed all of men, and luckily it too regenerates at night. So you got a never-ending supply of boar meat. I've never had boar meat. I'll have to try it, and I'll get back to you. I will get back to you. I will get back to you about how boar meat tastes. I assume it's pretty tough. Probably pretty tough. Washing all that delicious boar meat down, they'll need millions of bees to make enough honey for their mead. Right, well no, in fact they simply need the goat Hellerun, whose udders are able to produce an infinite supply of the finest meat. The finest meat. I don't drink alcohol. I can't drink alcohol. But they will have the finest meat. I'm sure it tastes fantastic and makes them feel great. I've had alcohol before, but I just don't. I choose not to drink it. So I wouldn't enjoy that goat's udders in Valhalla. I'd probably enjoy the boar meat more. What would you enjoy? The meat from the goat's udders or the boar meat? You tell me. You comment below whether you would enjoy the boar meat or the goat's udders. The udder of the goat's, the mead coming from the udder's goats. In the comments below. It's a glorious afterlife hall. Yeah, that's why I played Skyrim, and they have a Sovngarde. I assume it looks like Sovngarde, like a big hallway with cool warriors along the halls. has his own hall inside. So Thor has his own private hall inside Valhalla with 540 rooms. He's privileged. Privileged Thor. Thor has a lot of privilege there. Wonder where Odin is. Is Odin even in Valhalla? Areas for fighting, areas for living, and areas for feasting. Huge tables see hundreds of warriors. A wolf hangs in. I love wolves. Wolves are awesome. Do you like wolves? Do you like wolves? I love wolves. Wolf hangs in the doorway of the hall, and there are eagles flying overhead outside the hall. Stands in golden tree called glacier, among the most beautiful things in all of the world. Yep, there's the meat-producing goat. We just love that goat's udders, don't we? They graze from the branches of the gold tree. Everyone else obviously goes to hell, but not the Christian. You won't go to hell. You'll go to Valhalla. You will go to Valhalla. You're not gonna go to hell. H-E-L. H-E-L. You won't go to hell. You go to Valhalla. 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 I think that's all we need to know about Valhalla for now. Maybe we'll do another song about Norse mythology one day, and we'll get back to more. So Odin, I just did an AI search. So Odin, the Allfather, the one-eyed. The Allfather of the gods, Odin is associated with war, death, battle, poetry, music. Don't we just love music here? Prophecy and magic. He is also the ruler of Valhalla, so he rules Valhalla. Odin is often depicted with one eye, which he sacrificed to the god Mimir in exchange for divine wisdom and the ability to see everything that happens in the world. He also rides an 8-legged steed named Sleipnir. Or is it Sleipnir. Into battle and carries ravens named Hugin. Hugin is thought. You have a Hugin, Hagen, right now. Moanin. Memory. We will do another song one day. Maybe you can guess it in the comments about Odin. It's a really cool metal song. It's not even really metal. It's old Norse or old Proto-Germanic. It's Proto-Germanic song about Odin. Maybe you could guess the name of it in the comments. We're gonna do that next, maybe, or in the upcoming weeks. Odin is the father of Thor and Balder. I don't know much about Balder. Thor gets all the credit. Why is nobody talking about Balder? Why does Thor get all the credit? Nobody talks about my guy Balder, and was worshipped by kings, warriors, and chieftains and their men. Thor, the most popular of the gods. Thor is the god of war. Well, if he's the god of war, and Odin's the god of war, is Odin a manifestation of... Is Odin a manifestation? Or no, is Thor a manifestation of Odin? How does that work? They're both the god of war. Are they the god of different aspects of war? Like he's the aspect of the fight does sanctification mean? Tell me. Please. Please tell me what sanctification means. What does sanctification mean? I don't know. He's often depicted as temperamental, with red hair and brushy eyebrows. Yeah, he's always... that Thor is really a drama queen, isn't he? That Thor is really a drama... And you know, while we're at it, I want to learn about this Balder guy. We're gonna learn about a little bit about Balder. The lesser known god in Norse mythology. Because who is he? This will be a learning experience for both of us to learn who Balder is. Because nobody talks about Balder. Balder. God. Balder. Or is it Balder God? Lore. Balder, son of Odin and goddess Frigg. Balder is the god of light and radiance, joy. Well, there you go. That's why nobody talks about him. Light, radiance, joy, purity, peace, and forgiveness. Nobody. Well, there you go. That's why nobody talks about him, because he's all the good things. People like to focus on the negative. Honestly, Balder's the real gangster. Let's see some images. What does he look like? Yeah, oh my god, Balder is just beautiful. Balder is just beautiful. Long, flowing blonde locks. Some have him with the beard, some don't. Oh my gosh. Balder is 10 times better than Thor. Balder is my new favorite. Peace, love. You know, that's what life's about. Life's about peace, love, inner peace, love, happiness, kindness, and that's what Balder is. That's why nobody talks about Balder. It's time for people to start talking about Balder. Balder, peace, love, kindness, and stop talking about war, pillaging, the R word. You gotta focus on inner peace, love, forgiveness. Forgiveness is important. So we're ending on a very positive message here. Very positive message. Because Balder is the god of that positivity. Thor is the unruly child, the war, the strife, the drama. Balder is everything good. It's time to start talking more about Balder and less about Thor. Let's go, Balder. Let's go, peace, love, happiness, and kindness. And I wish you peace, love, kind, and happiness. Today, tomorrow, for all of the future, I wish you peace, love, kindness, happiness. So please, if you enjoyed this learning experience with me, please like, subscribe, comment any of the questions I asked that I want to learn about below in this video. And thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. You are very much appreciated. You are appreciated. You are loved. You will be welcomed by Balder. By Balder in Valhalla. You will be welcomed by Balder. Balder will welcome you. Peace, love, happiness, kindness. While Thor sits in his 540 private hall by himself, spreading war. You will be with Balder and have inner peace, joy, and happiness. But we will still be preparing for the Ragnarok, of course. I mean, that's just a given. You can have that piece, but we still gotta prepare for the final battle, obviously. And I hope you are prepared for the final battle. I am prepared. And, thank you for watching. And then I got this singing bowl. Let's just end with the singing bowl. I don't even know if I gotta put the mic down for a second, and then I'll hit the singing bowl, and that's where we'll end it. It's probably gonna be super loud. Let's see what it sounds like in the bowl. Do it right. I gotta hold it in my lip. I'm sorry, that's probably so loud. If you fell asleep, it probably woke you up. It probably woke you up if you fell asleep watching this. So, I'll do it right here, and then I'll just hold it inside. Come on. I need a good one. A good one to finish. Anyway, that was fun. Like, subscribe, comment below. Have a fantastic, peaceful day, and I'll see you in Valhalla when we meet. I'll see you there in Valhalla. I'll be chilling.